Hey y'all, IrixGuy here, back again with another live show, and I wanted to take the time to provide a quick live channel update. Oh, and remind everyone, be sure to check out my merchandise. You can look down below this live video or previously recorded video, and you can find a link to all of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel merch, like this t-shirt. So with that being said, just wanted to take a moment to provide a channel update. So we got a lot of stuff brewing here at IrixGuy's Adventure Channel in 2023. You probably noticed I'm not in my studio, and the reason is I'm doing some work on the studio because 2023 is just a continuation of the live shows, and really want to take this channel to the next level. So there's a lot of things that are coming. I'm going to get into podcasting. It's a new YouTube feature, the YouTube podcast. Something that I want to focus upon within the podcast are penny stocks, over-the-counter bulletin board stocks, OTC markets. And that's something that I'll explore in the podcast format, entertaining for entertainment purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell a security, but just sharing some of the penny stock strategies that I've grown to enjoy throughout the years. Now, I've been trading stocks since would have been the 1990s. So that's back before the online brokers were prevalent. So you had to get in a vehicle or you had to walk to the broker to be able to place a trade. And actually, back at that point in time, the stock market was not as volatile because you didn't have all of the online brokerages. So you didn't have the almost instantaneous executions that traders have grown to appreciate in the during the current time. So it's pretty interesting to see how everything has evolved from a stock market perspective. Again, I primarily focus upon penny stocks. Penny stocks could be the big exchanges: NASDAQ, American Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, the big exchanges, or it could be the over-the-counter markets: OTCQB, OTCBQX, pink sheets, the bottom of the barrel. Some of the sketchiest pump and dump penny stock plays, but some of the ones that can potentially be the most entertaining. So that's something to be aware of. And we've got Jake here. Jake, check out the fancy merch, man. I got my IrixGuy's Adventure Channel merch. You can look down below this video's description or any of my videos, and you can find my merch store. And if you don't know Jake, and I'll go ahead and throw this out there again, Jake is famous for introducing the world to the Terry Peppers foghorn video. If you haven't watched the Terry Peppers foghorn video, you are missing out because it'll change your life. So welcome aboard, Jake. I hope that Maya, McKenna, and Katie are all doing well. Jake says, I saw that. Unfortunately, I can't buy it. Hey, again, not a recommendation to buy or sell merch, and not a recommendation to buy or sell a security. I do this for entertainment purposes only. And again, your loyal support and viewership is worth more than any dollar amount, because you're always here when I do these live streams. It's worth mentioning this live stream was not scheduled. So Jake had no notification, no advance notice that this was going to occur tonight. So that's pretty cool. You tuned right in. I'm assuming you probably got the YouTube notification. You tuned into the live stream, and that's what it's all about, supporting the channel. And Jake, if I was in my studio right now, I would make the sound of the super chat, the didgeridoo, and I would celebrate your attendance, because you're always here. You're always here, and that's so important. Now, the frequency of these live streams, again, I'm going to ramp it up a lot. Again, I'm working on my studio, and that's something I want to circle back to. I'm working on my studio. That's why I'm here in this room with the beer steins, man. I'm in the Stein room, the beer stein room. Look at that. He's like, I'm on a beer stein. Eee. Beer steins. So yeah, the background is real. It's not fake. My beer steinery. So with that being said, yeah, we've got Got a lot of cool stuff going on. Jake says, and that is a historical foghorn video. One at the time, the video recording was taken in the late 1980s, the year following its removal. Man. And see, nobody else will have the opportunity to witness that foghorn in real time because it's been, as you indicated, it's been removed. So Jake has shared with us a piece of history that will never be experienced in person again. So very, very cool. And again, Terry Pepper's foghorn video, it'll change your life. So yeah, check that out. Yeah, we're let's see, is my background reversed? Again, I'm not in my studio. I'm in a different part of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel studio, but I'm not in the green screen studio. But yeah, a lot of things going. I've got the podcast coming for the penny stocks. Want to share a lot of that. I know everybody's not interested in penny stocks, but then again, not everybody's interested in raccoons and backpacking and dishwasher repair. So it's my mission, and I'll continue to remain hell bent upon delivering the freshest content that you wouldn't even dream up. And that's my goal, to keep it unscripted, obviously keep it profanity free and friendly for all age groups, because I don't want to exclude any of my viewers. And that's one thing that, with some channels, there'll be questionable content, and that's not what you get here. You get weird content, across the board content, but I want to keep it exciting. Jake says the recording was taken from afar, but you can still hear the distinct pattern that F2T in Duluth, Minnesota had, as well as its fault it had when it would fire off a short blast just before it sounded. He's talking about the foghorn. So that's super cool, man. Yeah, we've got penny stock stuff, man, is going crazy. The markets as a whole, and we're not just talking about penny stocks, but something that's happened, and again, I don't get into politics on this channel, but something that's happened because of recent events throughout the past few years, is that we've seen a shift. We've seen a lot of things change. I mean, we've seen a lot of tech for your needs. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. I would clap, but I'm not in my green screen studio, so I don't want to make too much noise. But tech for your needs, always good to have you, sir. Just like Jake, tech for your needs is always there. Jake says it tended to give a short blast, then the typical long blast every 2 minutes, every so often. Very cool. Foghorns. We're talking about foghorns. So speaking of foghorns, check out my YouTube short of the raccoon climbing to the bird feeder. Now that was pretty interesting because, excuse me, I got the hiccups. The raccoons, they can climb poles. They can climb trees. A lot of times you'll walk around, you're looking at a tree. I'll shine my, I'll get it out here. I'll shine my flashlight in the trees. My super high intensity flashlight, I must add. I'll shine it in the trees, and I'll see yellow eyes glowing. It's because a raccoon's in the tree, and a raccoon's just sitting there in the tree, maybe having a snack or just trying to stay away from the larger predators. But yeah, finding raccoons in trees at night is always exciting, because if you shine a light, you will see their eyes because they glow just like most any other animal. So we got raccoon videos, we got drones. Now that's what's interesting. I think there are some new developments coming to the drone industry very soon. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel and checked out my drone videos already, be sure to do so, because I've got hundreds, if not thousands of drone videos, but I've got a lot more coming soon, because kind of with drones, things became a little bit stagnant, in my opinion. There wasn't enough innovation. Tech for your needs, how's your diet going? Tech for your needs, it's actually going really well. Now, towards the end of the week and the weekend, I just eat and drink whatever I want. But throughout the week, I will eat either turkey sandwiches or tuna salad sandwiches, and then I'll eat like some sort of like very non-satisfying steamer type meal for breakfast. And all I drink during the week is water or unsweet tea with a lemon, because there's no reason to have all that sugar and stuff during the week. But on the weekends, I'll eat and drink whatever. But I work out every day. As far as cycling, indoor cycling, Schwinn IC4, subscribe and check out my Schwinn IC4 videos if you haven't. And also do a lot of walking and hiking and backpacking. Just in January, I backpacked over 50 miles, and I've got a lot of videos that I'm posting soon. So, check all of those out, because that's a great workout, because you got a lot of weight on your back. You've got a lot of elevation gain, especially when you're in Appalachia, like I am in the Smoky Mountains in the United States of America. So it's good workout. Jake says it was believed that the diaphone was the likely culprit since it had been there since the 1920s. Very true. Very cool. And Jake says there is an interesting video of the old foghorn Mine Island in BC, British Columbia. It had a distinctive two-tone horn. Very cool. So again, Jake, longtime viewer. Jake is also the reason why I'm familiar with Terry Pepper's foghorn video. And I want to remind everyone tuning in, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not in my studio. I'm performing some renovations in my studio, my green screen studio. But I do want to remind everyone you can find my merchandise, my merch store. It's linked down below this video, whether it's live or if you're watching the previously recorded version. So, and Super Chat is active. Now, if you choose to Super Chat during this live stream, I don't have my didgeridoo. My didgeridoo is in the studio that is undergoing radical renovation. So I will, if you choose to Super Chat, I'll be sure to send a celebratory didgeridoo blow the next time that I'm in the studio with the didgeridoo and live streaming. So yeah, I got a bunch of people tuning in. This is really nice. A few things I want to talk about. Now, this is interesting, and this is something that, you may or may not find of personal interest. But, and I'll preface this, I'm not sharing this this should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing this for entertainment purposes only. But with that being said, if you look back, if you're familiar, maybe you follow the markets, maybe you follow the financial news networks or whatever, you may have heard something about GME, Golf Mike Echo, GameStop. It's a ticker symbol. And that ticker symbol awoke. It woke up. It awakened. It woke up in a hard way. And it really rocketed. And that was an interesting stock. But, looking at a stock like GME and fast forwarding to 2023, there's a lot of things that are out there that are interesting. And again, not a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm just talking about this from an entertainment perspective. But if you look at stocks this week in particular, just a few tickers that were really exciting. BBBY, Bravo, Yankee. Another one was, let's see, let me pull up my little list here and I'll tell you. It was interesting to see how these suckers moved, man. Let's see, another one is X-Ray Echo Lima Alpha, XELA. That was an interesting one. And a lot of times with these big board stocks, I'm gonna share more within a lot of my IrixGuy's Penny Stock podcast. I'm going to talk in an entertaining fashion. Again, not a recommendation to buy or sell security, but I'm going to talk in an entertaining fashion about how to screen for these particular tickers. That's one thing that I do, and actually I'm going to do tonight. Every night I screen for tickers, and we're going to explore that in a little bit of depth here in a moment. But yeah, and another one was November Victor Oscar Sierra, NVOS. That was an interesting ticker this week. And there's a trend among all of those. And if you're kind of a stock market junkie, you may know what the trend is. among those tickers that I just mentioned, and it's not a secret. I mean, it's something that can be easily researched online. And again, sharing this for entertainment purposes only. But there's a condition within the stock market. I shouldn't call it a condition. I should just say a trend. A lot of traders. Now, these traders, they could be independent traders that are recreational. They could be professional, institutional traders like a hedge fund. There's all different types of traders that trade stocks in the stock market. So, everybody from your Joe Bob or Jane Bob, on the side of the road, pushing the lawnmower, making some yard money and spending it in the stock market, to the people that are on Wall Street with their snooty look on their face and their suit that's tailored and their tie, and they just walk by, they're like, everybody, there's all different types in the stock market. But one thing that's interesting, regardless of which entity or entities and or individuals it is, there's something called shorting. So a lot of stocks have what's referred to as a short interest, often abbreviated SI, Sierra Indigo. And what short interest suggests is that in a lot of times, especially with the more let's just call them more discovered stocks. Now, how do people discover stocks? We're going to explore that in more depth within my IrixGuy's Penny Stock podcast. So subscribe to that playlist if you haven't, because I'm going to post a lot of potentially entertaining content. But one of the things that people will do, people and institutions, hedge funds, they will screen some of them throughout the day. Now, me, I'm a hobbyist. I screen for stocks at night. I put in my limit buy, my limit sell orders to better eliminate the emotion, because emotion in trading can become a major issue. So I do everything I can to eliminate the emotion. And it's still there. I mean, you still think about this. I mean, stock markets are volatile. It's like, gee, I wonder what that's doing. I wonder what that's doing. But I've completely enabled myself to block it out, because I know that I've got my limit sell, my limit buy, my stop limit orders. And I feel fairly confident that will hopefully achieve what I want to achieve without bringing emotion into the mix, meaning that these orders should automatically execute when and if certain market conditions are met. So in other words, you strategize, you try to, and again, expect to lose it all, because that's probably what's going to happen. But you strategize and you try to create orders that may better protect you should the conditions go against you, and things that may protect you should the conditions be unexpectedly great. Because what's worse than dumping a position that's really breaking out, that's maybe you've gotten in on a short squeeze. And that's what I want to talk about now, is a short squeeze. So a short squeeze at a high level, when you have a ticker, and something that I always do when I screen, I look at the 52-week high and I look at the 52-week low. And primarily I'm centering my search. I like pink sheets, over-the-counter bulletin board, the bottom of the barrel. Most of those are what people often on the street refer to as lottery plays, which means that it's pretty much gambling when you get to that level of the stock market. There's less regulations there. They're still regulated, but they don't have to comply as stringently as some of the big boards. The big boards being, for example, Amex, American Stock Exchange, NICE, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. So they don't often have the requirements that all of those do. So a lot of those companies can go dark, and a lot of those companies fall victim to pump and dump, which means that the people with ill intent are often involved with the ticker symbols, and they manipulate unfairly the stock prices. So those pink sheets are typically a huge, huge gamble. Again, with all stocks, expect to lose it all, because it's probably what's going to happen. But my strategy in 2023, and I dissect this within a lot more depth within the first episode of IrixGuy's Penny Stock podcast here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IrixGuy. But one of the things is screening. So again, exporting a spreadsheet at the end of market close at night, comfortable in bed, sitting there. It's like, I wonder what the market's doing. Look at the sheet. I want to sort by volume active. You've probably heard the phrase volume before price. if there's not volume, that stock's not going to move, whether it's in a positive or negative direction. Now, keep in mind, whether it's going up or whether it's going down, it can be in the interest of traders. People that are shorting a stock, shorting meaning that they're borrowing, and then their expectation is that the price per share is going to go down, because if it goes down, then they're in good shape. But what happens when there's a phenomenon called the short squeeze, often referred to as a short squeeze? What happens there? You find a stock, and again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell security. This is for entertainment purposes only. But you look at a stock like BBBY, for example. You look at the 52-week high. You look at the 52-week low. You look at what the perceived short interest may be. And then you question the possibility of, okay, well, this price per share is very low. It's the time of filming this, it's hovering a little bit over $1 a share US. 52-week high, way, way above that. Off the top of my head, I think it was maybe 30 plus US dollars a share, 52-week high. So you look at that huge spread there, and it's like, wonder what's going on. Now, with a lot of these large exchanges, and I'm not going to quote anything specific, you do your own due diligence, figure it out. But a lot of these large exchanges have listing requirements. One of those is price per share. So companies that plummet to a certain range, in the case of BBBY, close to $1 a share, do they want to file bankruptcy? Do they want to delist from the big board? And do they want to downgrade to the OTC markets, the over-the-counter bulletin board? So things are uncertain. But if news that is positive and can be verified, and it's a positive material event, that can send a stock in the other direction. Now, in the case of something, and again, not a recommendation to buy or sell security. This information is probably not accurate. Just sharing this for entertainment purposes only. But in the case of a ticker symbol such as BBBY, when you look at something that may have a lot of short interest, well, what would happen if they said, "Oh, well, dude, we've restructured. We've closed X number of stores. Now our financials are great. We want to really be certain that we maintain that listing requirement with the big board stock. The big board stock exchange. We want to make sure we don't put ourselves in a situation where we have to downgrade to the over-the-counter bulletin board or file bankruptcy." Good things might happen. Now, in a case where good things might happen, potentially what could happen, that stock price could rise, and it could potentially rise rapidly. Well, with a stock, when you've got a large short interest, a lot of people with short positions, not just people, institutions such as hedge funds. When you've got a lot of short interest, when and if that stock price starts to rise, people that have short interest, they're clamoring to get out, because the reason is that they've got to do something called cover their shorts, meaning that they've got this short interest. So when the stock goes up, they're losing more and more and more and more money. So it can be very financially detrimental to people that are shorting stocks. I don't short stocks. I've never shorted stocks. And the reason I don't is that the possibility of loss is somewhat limitless when you're shorting stocks. And that's why I don't short stocks. But I'm aware of people that short stocks, institutions that short stocks, and those are the types of plays that I look for, because I want something that is perceived as a distressed company. I want something that has potentially a very heavy short interest, SI. I want something that had a 52-week range that is at or near the 52-week low. And I want something where the 52-week range was quite significant. I want room for potential rebound. And when and if I find those tickers, those are the tickers that really excite me, because I look at them and I'm like, okay, if a material event occurs, if very impressive earnings are released, there's so many things that could kick that stock in a positive direction, increase the price per share. So when and if that happens, And if there's a stock that is heavily shorted, that is when a condition often referred to as short squeeze occurs, because the people with the shorts are trying to cover their shorts because they don't want to lose even more. They want to get out. And then once that happens, that's when you see, if you look at charts, and I'm a charts guy. I even with the big boards, I take everything I hear that's news with a grain of salt. But when I see a chart, and a short squeeze is pretty much just like, typically stocks trade up, down, down, back up, whatever. But when you got a short squeeze, you may have something kind of stagnant, maybe a little bit of up and down, but then it's like, brrr. And that's an exciting thing to, and again, not a recommendation to buy or sell security, but that's something exciting to watch from the sidelines too. And it's always entertaining to see how these stock markets work. Now, again, I'm not an expert. I'm a hobbyist. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm sharing this for entertainment purposes only. But it's one of my obsessions. And again, I've been involved with the stock market since the early 1990s. So recreationally. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader. But it's really a fascinating thing. And that's the thing for 2023. And you can explore more by subscribing and checking out my IrixGuy's Penny Stock podcast. But it's just it's numbers, man. That's all it is. You got numbers, and we're going to explore within the podcast a bunch of things that people do to research a stock. And ultimately, and I'll just tell it like it is, one can perform as much research as they want to, whether that's an individual, hedge fund, whatever. They can research as much as they want to. No two stocks are the same, and no two stocks will trade exactly the same way. So just because hypothetically something may have traded in a perceived pattern for a long period of time doesn't mean that pattern will continue. It also doesn't mean that just because one stock performed in a perceived pattern that a similar stock should do the same. Every stock is different. So that's a mistake that, a lot of novice traders make. They think that, I figured it out. They feel that they've somehow become the stock market expert by, maybe they had a few successful trades or whatever. But the reality is every trade is different. And there's nothing that, there's no two stocks that are the same. So it's a fascinating field. And that's a big component that I really want to bring into the channel by way of the podcast. Again, IrixGuy's Penny Stock Podcast. It's a playlist on my channel. It's utilizing YouTube's new podcast features. So the objective is, if you want to listen to these entertaining videos, you can listen to them without having to watch a video because it's a podcast. So, I want to open the opportunity for my viewers to experience the channel in different ways, not just live streams, not just videos and shorts. I've got a lot of short form videos, especially the raccoons. Got a lot of raccoon videos now, tons more coming soon. So I want to keep it across the board. Want to keep it entertaining. I appreciate all of y'all and your support. I mean, this is a huge, well, my short-term objective is to achieve, let's see, and I can do this with y'all's help. Right now, I'm at 88,287 subscribers at the time of hosting this live stream. So my short-term miniature milestone is 100,000 subscribers. I think that should be easily doable with your support. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. Ring the bell to be notified whenever I post another video. Share with everybody you know, because I want to get to that 100,000 milestone ASAP. And again, that's not the end. 100,000 subscribers is only the beginning, but I want to get that selfishly, because when I hit 100,000 subscribers, if they still do it, which I hope they do, I should be able to get a YouTube play button, which is a trophy, and it's got a silver button in the middle. It says, it's got the little YouTube logo, little play logo or whatever, but I'm going to hang that in my studio when you walk into the studio. So that'd be kind of cool to be like, dude, you got 100,000 subscribers. I'm like, yeah, man, that was a few months ago, and now I'm at whatever, Again, 100,000 subscribers is just the beginning. It is not the end by any means. So I want to branch out and get into a lot of different subject matter. Also something with the with the fitness routine. I want to get into that real heavily. I mean, obviously I work out, I'm still fat, but dude, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm proactively monitoring what I eat during the week, but not on the weekends. I just eat and drink whatever on the weekends. I don't care. But I'm going to start posting some fitness videos. Again, not fitness advice, but just things like, well, this is what I do. This is, this is how fat I was. This is how I look, a week from now, a month from now. Just chart the progress and keep it real. And authenticity is something that y'all can always count on from this channel. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So, this is what it is. I mean, this channel has always been and will always be an honest channel. So I'm having a good time doing this. Like I said, I will have a better time once I get through 100,000 subscribers, because that is a very significant milestone for my channel, and I've got to get there as soon as possible. So, I can do it with y'all's support. Again, once I hit 100 million video views, which, let's see, video view count right now, I think is, let me see, let me pull that up. Right now I am at, for video views, let's see, I'm only at 64,567,148, give or take a few, because it's real time. So yeah, right around, let's just say right around 64.6 million video views is what I have currently. But once I get to 100 million video views, I will open the Gosling's Family Reserve, that really fancy bottle of rum with the glass exhibition case, wooden case. I'll open that once I get to 100 million video views. So let's get the views going. Let's churn, man. Let's get this going. Views of YouTube shorts on my channel, those count as views, just like views of my live streams and also my standard 16:9 widescreen videos. And I want to remind everyone, you can watch any of my videos if you've got, say, an Apple device and an Apple TV or something similar. You can AirPlay in the Apple world or stream in other device worlds to your big TV. So maybe you got a big LCD TV and you want to watch the videos really big, you can do that, because I do film my videos in 4K Ultra HD, and some of my more recent videos I film in 8K Ultra HD. Now, not all of them, because 8K is, at the time of filming this, it's a somewhat future format, because like I mentioned when I filmed a few 8K videos, and check out my 8K Ultra HD video playlist. But I did mention that I don't even have an 8K TV. I refuse to get an 8K TV right now because they're too expensive. But once I can go in and get a Vizio or similar 8K TV for $200 or $300 US, you're right, I'm going to upgrade. And for that reason, I'm going to start to film some of the more exotic content on this channel in 8K Ultra HD. So I've got a rare waterfall video that I filmed in 8K Ultra HD, just because it was hard to get to. Did it while I was backpacking, and wanted to capture that waterfall in a better future-proofed format, because ultimately 8K is going to become the norm here in a few years. And then after 8K, there'll be the next thing, whatever that is. So, there's always going to be a better video format. There's always going to be a better audio format. There's always going to be a faster computer. There's always going to be a better camera. Things are going to continue to evolve. So, it's good within reason to future-proof. But again, now I am future-proofing quite a bit of content in 8K Ultra HD. So, check it out on your big screen TV and check out all the details. But yeah, I just wanted to get here in my little, I don't know what you call this. It's not my YouTube studio. It's a room with a bunch of books and beer steins, man. It's what it is. So I just wanted to come here and, it says Das Leben. So, I mean, don't have to be in the green screen to do a live show. And it's currently raining, so I wanted to set up the other Sony Alpha camera for the raccoons, but dude, I don't want to get my camera wet, bro. Don't want to do that. And the raccoons aren't out anyway. They're like, man, it's raining. They came out, grabbed their food earlier. We had We had a rotisserie chicken, and my wife and daughter and I ate the rotisserie chicken, and we threw the chicken carcass over the deck, and the raccoons came and just ran off with it. They ran off with the entire chicken carcass. So they ate it at their house because they didn't want to sit out in the rain and eat. Like, what do you think we are, stupid? No. Same reason I'm not going to take the camera out and film them tonight, because they're not out. They're in their house. Raccoons aren't going to stand out in the rain. So with that being said, I just wanted to post this channel update, and got a lot of cool stuff coming, especially after my studio renovations are complete, because one of my primary objectives for the studio renovations is to be able to sit down, have just a static environment. So the camera's always going to be in the same spot. The computer's always going to be in the same spot. The audio levels are always going to be the same. Clean, consistent, and professional results. So that's the objective with the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel Studio 2.0. Mr. Willow 29, any more drone vids coming? Yes, sir. Tons of drone videos. I mean, the thing that's kind of made me temporarily stagnant with drone videos, two things. 2020, you don't even have to ask or wonder what that was. It made travel a challenging situation. So kind of dampened my travel throughout the Caribbean and everywhere. So I didn't really have the really exotic scenery to film. And then also the drones, the technology, at least temporarily, kind of became stagnant. So I'm hoping, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hoping DJI is going to have something really awesome in 2023. Because what we've seen prior, I mean, without a doubt, the best drones on the market. Check out my thousands of drone videos and see for yourself. But there's kind of at least a temporary perceived plateau. There's nothing radically new that excites me. And again, I do this channel because it's stuff that I personally enjoy doing. And if it's a seemingly meaningless update or upgrade, then I'm not going to waste my time, because I'm going to go for something else. Or maybe I'm going to film some how-to videos, how to repair a dishwasher, how to replace a shower head, how to smoke a Boston butt. I mean, there's so many things when you think about it. I mean, the world of information is very vast. And when you think about all the things that people are searching for, all the things that you would like to learn how to do, or maybe you already know how to do and you just want to share with others, YouTube is a very powerful platform for sharing that knowledge in a very easy to find format. Obviously, Google owns YouTube. So you search for this, you search for that. Something I am going to do, and I haven't filmed the video yet, is how to make Boston butt chili. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to smoke a Boston butt. I'm going to pull the butt and going to eat a bunch of them, barbecue sandwiches, and just straight up with some homemade mustard sauce. But then the rest of it, I'm going to put into a chili. So it's going to be smoked Boston butt instead of ground beef. And it's going to make a barbecue hickory infused flavored chili. It's going to be so good, man. So that's just one of the teasers. I mean, there's so many things coming to this channel. Mr. Willow, yes, there will be drone videos. To answer your question, there will be a plethora of drone videos. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I'll be glad to get back in the studio once I get the studio renovations completed. I know I've got a big team working on it, and make sure it's done properly. So it's going to be an exciting year, guys. And I hope this year for y'all has been very pleasant and great so far. I know we've already entered the month of March, where it's very windy in a lot of the world. Here in Appalachia, it is windy in March and April too. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in. And this is just, again, quick, easy, nothing fancy live show. Just wanted to pop on and say hi and talk about my penny stock podcast and just get y'all excited. So appreciate everyone tuning in. I'm gonna cut out, and what am I gonna do? Who knows? Stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell to be notified whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day.